Car dealership manager kicks out Barron Trump over MAGA hat. What he does next will shock you. The chrome teeth of Apex Prestige Motors gleamed under the showroom lights, each vehicle a silent testament to obscene wealth. Barron Trump, not even 18, but already a silhouette of adult height, idly adjusted the brim of his cap. It was navy blue, unremarkable, bearing no slogan, no statement. Today wasn't about politics. It was about potential. The potential of owning his first car, a milestone shimmering just weeks away with his impending birthday. A tangible symbol of almost freedom. He drifted through the sanctum of polished metal and hushed reverence, the air thick with the scent of leather and the faint, sweet tang of something manufactured and expensive. Rows of automotive dreams sat bathed in strategically placed spotlights. To most, they were status symbols. To Barron, they were intricate machines, puzzles of engineering and design, each whispering a story of speed and aspiration. His gaze snagged on a coupe, a Predator in silver. Its lines were predatory, promising wind-whipped hair and the growl of unleashed power. "Excuse me." Barron's voice, still carrying the timbre of adolescence, was polite but possessed an inherent authority. A salesman, Gary, according to his slightly crooked name tag, materialized with a practiced, almost predatory smile of his own. The smile hitched, a micro-flicker of something unreadable, as his eyes flicked to Barron's cap. A beat of hesitation. "Can I help you, sir?" Gary's tone had lost a fraction of its practiced warmth, replaced by a guarded neutrality. "I'm interested in this model." Barron indicated the silver coupe. "Does it come in black?" Before Gary could respond, a human iceberg cleaved through the space between them. This was Randolph Sterling, the showroom manager, a man whose tailored suit seemed woven from pure disdain. His eyes, sharp and cold, fixed on Barron's cap as if it were a stain on the pristine environment. "Is there a problem here?" Randolph's voice, smooth but edged with an undercurrent of steel, was directed at Gary, but his gaze remained locked on Barron. Barron extended a hand, a simple gesture of introduction. "I'm looking to inquire about this vehicle for a future purchase." Randolph pointedly ignored the outstretched hand, his lips curving into a thin, unpleasant smile. "We cater to a certain clientele here. This isn't exactly a rally, is it?" The implication hung heavy in the perfumed air. A knot of something tight and unpleasant formed in Barron's gut. This wasn't about the hat. This was about him. "Sir, I'm here to buy a car." My own blood pressure would be spiking at this point. The sheer audacity of such prejudgment. "Well, I suggest you take your business elsewhere." Randolph's voice, though not raised, carried a chilling finality. Head swiveled. The hushed reverence of the showroom fractured, replaced by an uncomfortable, expectant silence. Other customers, their dreams of luxury momentarily suspended, watched with a mixture of curiosity and unease. Barron's jaw clenched. A flash of anger, hot and immediate, surged through him. But years of being in the public eye, years of observation, had taught him the value of control. He swallowed the retort that threatened to erupt. "I'm a serious buyer," he stated, his voice low but firm. "Is there a specific reason you're asking me to leave?" Randolph's smile vanished completely, replaced by an expression of cold, unadulterated dismissal. "We reserve the right to refuse service. This is private property." He puffed out his chest, attempting to assert an authority that felt petty and unearned. It was a pathetic display of small-mindedness. The air crackled with unspoken tension. Barron met Randolph's gaze, his own unwavering. He scanned the faces of the other customers, some curious, some embarrassed, none willing to intervene. He understood. Power dynamics. Fear of confrontation. "Fine," Barron said, the single word clipped and carrying the weight of his suppressed anger. He turned sharply and walked towards the exit, his back ramrod straight. The automatic doors hissed shut behind him, sealing him out, leaving a thick, uncomfortable silence in his wake. Randolph Sterling, basking in his perceived victory, had no idea he'd just kicked a hornet's nest. You will not believe what happened next. The crisp air outside did little to cool the simmering indignation within Barron. The humiliation stung, not because of personal insult, but because of the blatant injustice, the casual dismissal based on nothing but a preconceived notion. Growing up under a microscope had its drawbacks, but it had also instilled a deep understanding of fairness, or the lack thereof. He glanced back at Apex Prestige Motors, the glass doors now reflecting his own hardening resolve. Reaching for his phone, he leaned against a nearby wall, a plan beginning to form in his mind. He navigated to the Apex Prestige Motors website, his thumb hovering over the Contact Us button. He wouldn't engage in a shouting match. He wouldn't resort to insults. He would operate strategically. He found the corporate number and dialed, his expression calm, but his inner monologue was a whirlwind of frustration. When a representative, a woman with a soothing voice who identified herself as Eleanor, answered, Barron recounted the encounter with Randolph Sterling. He detailed the manager's dismissive behavior, his refusal to even discuss the vehicle, all because of a simple baseball cap. I'm not demanding special treatment, Barron emphasized, his tone measured and even. I simply expect the same level of courtesy and respect afforded to any other potential customer. His words were precise, carrying the weight of his genuine disappointment. I truly admire this restraint, this ability to articulate the issue without resorting to emotional outbursts. Eleanor, clearly disturbed by his account, apologized profusely and assured him the matter would be investigated. But for Barron, a standard corporate apology felt insufficient. He understood the performative nature of such statements. He wanted accountability, real change. He ended the call, a sense of quiet determination solidifying within him. This wasn't over. Seconds later, his phone buzzed. An unknown number. A text message. Just saw what happened at Apex. That was outrageous. Attached was a video link. His breath hitched as he clicked. There on his screen was the entire encounter. Captured from a discreet distance, the video showed Randolph's condescending remarks, his dismissive gestures, juxtaposed with Barron's increasingly frustrated but controlled demeanor. The title, emblazoned across the top. Vicious manager throws out Trump's son over a hat. You won't believe his reaction. He watched the video unfold, a strange detachment settling over him. It was like watching a scene from a play, except this was his life, his humiliation on display for the world. He scrolled down to the comment section. It was a digital wildfire. Some were expressing outrage at Randolph's behavior. Others were leaping to political conclusions, and a few were even questioning the authenticity of the video. Hashtags like hashtag boycott Apex Prestige and hashtag respect Barron were already trending. This was bigger than he anticipated. Much bigger. Sitting at his desk later that evening, the Florida sky ablaze with the fiery hues of sunset, Barron felt a shift within him. The initial sting of anger was fading, replaced by a sense of responsibility. He couldn't control Randolph Sterling's prejudice, but he could control his response. He opened his laptop, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. He wouldn't lash out. He wouldn't engage in online arguments. He would craft a message, a statement that transcended the immediate outrage. He wrote about the importance of treating everyone with respect, regardless of their background or appearance. He emphasized the corrosive nature of prejudice and the need for empathy. Kindness isn't about political affiliation, he typed, the words flowing with a newfound clarity. It's about basic human decency, and it's a choice we all have the power to make. He attached the message to a retweet of the video, adding a simple but powerful call to action. Let's use this moment to choose respect. The internet exploded. His tweet became a supernova, radiating across social media. Within hours, it had been viewed millions of times, liked, shared, and commented upon by a diverse chorus of voices. Celebrities, business leaders, influencers, and everyday citizens chimed in, praising his measured response and condemning Randolph Sterling's actions. News outlets ran headlines like Trump's son responds to discrimination with class, and luxury car dealership engulfed in backlash. Apex Prestige Motors was in freefall. Their social media pages were inundated with angry comments and threats of boycotts. Their online reviews plummeted, each one a testament to Randolph Sterling's disastrous decision. Former employees, witnessing the public outcry, anonymously shared their own accounts of Randolph's abrasive and discriminatory behavior, further fueling the flames. Barron watched the unfolding drama with a sense of grim satisfaction mixed with a growing unease. He hadn't intended to incite a digital mob. He simply wanted to highlight the importance of respect. A comment, appearing amidst the thousands, caught his eye. "Barron, you handled that with incredible maturity. Have you thought about starting a campaign for respect?" The idea resonated. What if this wasn't just about one isolated incident? What if this could spark a larger conversation, a movement towards greater understanding and kindness? He reached out to Sophia Ellis, a friend known for her strategic mind and her expertise in public relations. "This isn't about me anymore, Sophia," he explained, his voice filled with conviction. "It's about the message. How do we amplify it?" Together, they began to strategize, the initial anger giving way to a focused determination to create something positive out of the negativity. But first, he still needed a car, and he wouldn't give Apex Prestige Motors another dime. Later that week, Barron made a deliberate choice. He researched other luxury car brands, seeking out companies known for their ethical practices and inclusive values. He landed on Zenith Motors, a company with a reputation for innovation and a strong commitment to social responsibility. He contacted their corporate headquarters, explaining his recent experience. The response from Mr. David Chun, Zenith CEO, was immediate and empathetic. He wasn't just offered a car, he was offered an alliance. 2 days later, Barron walked into the gleaming Zenith Motors showroom. The atmosphere was a stark contrast to his previous experience. He was greeted warmly by David Chun himself, a man whose handshake was firm and whose eyes conveyed genuine sincerity. The staff were welcoming, professional, and treated him like any other valued customer. He explored their impressive lineup, eventually gravitating towards the Zenith Echelon, a sleek, all-electric sedan that embodied both power and sustainability. As he finalized the purchase, Barron presented an idea to Mr. Chun. "What if we could turn what happened at Apex Prestige into something constructive?" he proposed. "A campaign focused on promoting respect and kindness." Mr. Chun's face lit up. He saw the immense potential in Barron's vision. Within hours, plans were being put into motion. Zenith Motors pledged its full support to a nationwide campaign spearheaded by Barron. They called it Drive with Respect. Its mission was simple yet profound: to foster a culture of respect, empathy, and understanding in all aspects of life. The Drive with Respect campaign launched on social media with a powerful video featuring Barron. He spoke candidly about his experience at Apex Prestige Motors, not with anger or bitterness, but with a quiet determination to create positive change. "Respect isn't about agreeing with everyone," he stated, his voice resonating with sincerity. "It's about treating each other with dignity, even when we have different opinions." The video ended with a call to action, urging viewers to share their own stories of demonstrating or experiencing respect using the hashtag #DriveWithRespect. The response was phenomenal. The hashtag exploded, becoming a global phenomenon. People from all walks of life shared their stories. Tales of overcoming prejudice, of extending kindness to strangers, of choosing understanding over conflict. Schools implemented Drive with Respect workshops. Businesses adopted its principles in their customer service training. Even rival car companies acknowledged the campaign's importance, promoting it on their own platforms. Meanwhile, Apex Prestige Motors continued to hemorrhage customers and revenue. Randall Sterling was swiftly terminated, but the damage to the dealership's reputation was extensive. When asked about Apex Prestige in a television interview, Barron offered a measured response. "My goal isn't to see anyone fail," he stated calmly. "It's to encourage a more respectful and inclusive environment for everyone." His lack of animosity only amplified the power of his message. Over time, Drive with Respect evolved into more than just a campaign. It became a movement. Barron, once known primarily for his family name, became a prominent advocate for kindness and understanding. He delivered speeches, partnered with organizations, and used his platform to inspire positive change. And in the quiet moments, he reflected on his own journey. The humiliation he felt in that sterile showroom had been a catalyst, transforming a personal slight into a powerful force for good. The choice he made, To respond with thoughtful action rather than impulsive anger had made all the difference. Here's where the core message truly shines. Barron's story is a powerful testament to the idea of turning negativity into positivity. The blatant disrespect he experienced at Apex Prestige Motors could have easily led to anger and bitterness. However, he consciously chose a different path, channeling his frustration into the creation of the Drive with Respect campaign in collaboration with Zenith Motors. This wasn't just about getting even, it was about building something better. The overwhelming success of the campaign underscores the public's deep desire for a more respectful and understanding world. The sheer volume of stories shared by individuals who encountered bias and responded with grace, and those who were touched by acts of kindness, highlights the profound impact of even small positive actions. The fact that we saw corporate shifts toward training employees on professionalism and bias awareness demonstrates that even large institutions are capable of change when confronted with a compelling social message. But at its heart, this story is about personal growth. Barron's initial humiliation was a turning point. His reflection on personal strength and the conscious choice of response is a powerful reminder that we all have agency in how we react to adversity. Barron's transformation of that humiliating experience into a message for unity and respect is the most inspiring aspect of this narrative. It proves that even in the face of prejudice and negativity, we have the power to choose kindness, to advocate for understanding, and to ultimately drive positive change in the world. Years later, reflecting on the journey that began with a slammed door and a bruised sense of dignity, Barron understood a fundamental truth. Sometimes, the greatest opportunities for growth and positive change arise from the most unexpected and unpleasant experiences. It's not about what happens to you, but how you choose to respond. And sometimes, the most shocking thing you can do is choose kindness.